life lovely? Isn't life wonderful? Isn't life beautiful? How is your life? I'm coming at you from my very unique garden, and it's been a mission, and I've loved it, and it's been an awesome way to invest a couple of months working really hard physically, and it's been gorgeous to be outside in the fresh air and sunshine mentally. And I'm going to ask this question. Is it possible, regardless of how you look, to change the way you look and feel? I'm using my garden as an example because when I first got here, you can see that except for the garden area, and you can see over there, it's just brown dirt. And when I arrived here the first day, it was just brown dirt. The entire area was brown dirt. And a mission of rocks, sand, gravel, and how do you build a garden in the coldest, hottest, most extreme, foggiest, windiest place in New Zealand? It's a very unique kind of a garden because the wind's going to blow stuff away and the sun's going to burn it and it's going to be freezing cold, and we often have temperature here in the night time of -6, -8. So how do you build a garden for that? And so it's been a great project. And wouldn't that be a great way to compare the project of the human body? Regardless of how you look, could you look better? Could you feel better? Even if you are a superstar, rock star, supermodel, and you've got the perfect body and the highest energy level ever, could you get better? And the reverse of that, if you have a body that you're not happy with, if you have a body that is out of shape, it's not healthy, you don't like your hair, your skin, your nails, your teeth, your posture, could you change it so that you are in better shape? And it's interesting because, for example, the shed here and the water tank, and we've got a couple of tractors and we've got a seed sowing machine and some wagon wheels and all sorts of stuff that we've put into the garden. But when they arrived here, they all required serious makeovers. The tractors were old and rusty. The wagon wheels were different colours, rusty, dirty, broken. The seed sower was just a mess. And yet, with some love and some care and some attention and some time and some effort, they've turned into really beautiful things. Now, you might not like what I've put in my garden, but for me, it's just beautiful to come outside here and look at some of the beautiful creations I've made and how we've had to refurb, make over, change the things to make them look good. So how much of that can happen with your own body? And as an exercise professional, this is a really interesting question because a lot of people come to an exercise professional and they actually come with a picture, a bit like when they go to the hairdresser, and they say, make me look like this. And they have a vision in their mind, or they have a picture in their hand of a model or a superstar or an athlete or a bodybuilder or somebody that they want to look like. And I always ask this question, do you want to look like somebody else, or do you want to look like you and keep looking better than you? So it's easy for me to say as an old lady, I can look back over my life and say, okay, that's how I looked at 20 and then 30 and then 40 and then 50. And when I'm 80, 90, 100, I'm really excited about how I'm going to look because I know that fit, strong, healthy bodies always look better on the outside than a body that is weak and frail. But I want to look like the best me. I have no interest in looking like somebody else. I've actually not one of those people who's ever been to the hairdresser and said, please cut my hair like this, I want to look like this. And interestingly, I've had this hair since I was 12. I used to be a swimmer and always had green hair. So one day I just chopped it off. So the only change to this hair is in the 80s I had a mullet, which I'm embarrassed to say because I was following the fashion, and I never do that anymore, of course. Now it's all about my unique style and how I can look the way that I want to look and keep looking better. And it might be different because obviously as you get older your body changes, but I'm excited about that because I've lived a life and I'm excited about the changes. So I'm sharing that with you because if you are too getting older, rather than getting angry about it or annoyed about it or frustrated about it or I wish I could stay young, what about appreciate every line, appreciate every part of your life that you've lived that's showing on your body? That's your life experience. So what can we actually change? And I use the example of painting the tractors and painting the wagon wheel and painting the tank, and that's all external. So can you get great makeup? Yes. Can you get great haircut? Yes. Can you have great nails? Yes. And even if you haven't got great nails, you can get some. Can you get long eyelashes? Yes. Can you get different eyebrows? Yes. Can you have better posture? Yes, because the beautiful thing about the skeletal system, it doesn't have to get old. Your bones don't have to waste away. If you lift heavy, your muscles will pull on your bones and you will stay in the upright position because you'll have strong bones. I think that's really exciting because most old people have really bad posture because their muscles are no longer pulling on their bones. So can you have great posture? Yes. Teeth, interesting. You could get all your teeth taken out, spend a reasonable amount of money and have all new white straight teeth. You could look after your teeth so they stay white and straight and stay healthy for the rest of your life. But there's certainly things that you can change. You can get braces, you can get teeth whitening, you can change your teeth. So you can change how you look. You can have a facelift. You can, as I shared, there's eyebrows and eyelashes, and you can get injections in your lips, and you can have hair colour change and change your nails, all of that stuff. But what about the stuff that we have no control over? Can we accept that? And if you think you can change it, which is I don't want to look this certain way, my body shape, I want to have longer legs, or I want to be taller, or I want to have broader shoulders, or I want to have thinner hips, or those kind of things. There are some things that we can't change. So there's that great and beautiful quote that I've been taught since I was a little girl: accept the things that you cannot change, change the things you can, and how about the knowledge or the wisdom to know the difference? So what is it about your human body that you can change? And there's lots of things, I've just listed them off. Externally, there's quite a lot. But how tall we are, and how wide our shoulders are, and how wide our hips are, and the length of our bones, they're genetics. We can't change that. There's no exercise program or makeover or eating plan that can change the length of your femur, for example. And isn't that exciting, really? Because there are people that can play a certain sport or lift a certain weight or even look a certain way because of their genetics. So there's sporting scouts who go to schools and they're looking for the kids with the longer limbs, or they're looking for the kids with the shorter limbs. If you're a powerlifter and you want to lift heavy weight, it's much easier to lift a heavy weight if you've only got short limbs because you don't have to lift it very far. If you've got big long limbs and you're really tall, very difficult to lift heavier weight. So they're the things that we can't change, and have we accepted those? So if you have just a quick analysation, the width of your shoulders, that's not going to change. I'm talking about the bony structure. That's not going to change. The width of your hips, the bony structure, that's not going to change. The distance between your hip bone and your knee, the length of your leg, that's not going to change. Or your knee to your ankle, that's not going to change. So we can't change how tall we are, and we can't change how wide we are. Can we change how heavy we are? Yes. And I need to chat about that because a lot of people talk about weight and heavy in a negative way. For me, being heavy and weight and getting heavier as an older person is really important. First of all, the simple one is dehydration. If you lose water out of your body, you will lose weight. You weigh less. But what happens to your brain if you're dehydrated? Not in a good place. If you lose bone mineral density as you get older because you're inactive and you don't lift heavy things, you'll weigh lighter on the scales. But I don't want skinny bones. I don't want thin bones. I don't want osteoporosis. And the really all-important part for that is most people that get osteoporosis, advanced osteoporosis, are usually dead within 12 months because it's a horrible, debilitating disease where you have to live your life in a wheelchair. Well, I don't want that. So when I stand on the scales, I'm not interested in weighing less because I want my bones to be really heavy. You know that expression, I've got heavy bones? I want to have heavy bones and I want them to keep getting heavier. Muscle's the same. Muscle's the engine of your body. And I don't want a 2-stroke engine or a 4-cylinder engine. I want a V12 turbocharged 12-cylinder engine that just burns up food and calories and sugar and cake and chocolate and yummy food. I want to keep my muscle. That's what your muscle is. It's the engine to your body. It's also really heavy. It's dense, it's alive, it's got blood supply, it's heavy. So when I stand on the scales, if I lose bone mineral density, I'll be lighter. If I lose muscle tissue, I'll be lighter. If I lose fluid, I'll be lighter. But I don't want any of that to happen. I want to be heavier. So I stand here as an old lady telling you that as I get older, I want to get heavier. The really interesting thing about that, though, is that fat, the thing that we usually don't like, is not very heavy. It's just yellow squidgy stuff, and when they suck it out with liposuction, you can see it looks like butter. It's also not very heavy, but it is very big. And if you've ever seen those plastic models, 1 kilogram of muscle or 1 pound of muscle is about that big. But it weighs 1 kilo or 1 pound, depending on which country you live in. Fat, 1 kilo, 1 pound, is twice as big. It weighs the same, but it's twice as big. So it's interesting that we worry about weight, but maybe size is a better thing to consider. And if you're getting bigger because you're getting squidgier, softer bits around your body, that's one of the things you do have control over. Now, you can control your water. You don't have to be hydrated. You can control your bone mineral density. You don't have to get osteoporosis. You can control your muscle definition and density. You can keep lifting heavy so you keep your muscle tissue. It doesn't waste away as you get older. But you can get rid of the fat if you want to. It's not that complicated. And I know that people try and make it complicated, and I wish they didn't. It's a pretty scientific process. If I eat too much food, it's very likely that I'm going to put fat on my body. If I eat less food and I'm active, it's likely that I'm going to burn fat off my body. Now, there's a lot of argument about that, and I don't want to get into that argument. What I do know is that if you looked a certain way and you loved the way you looked, and now you don't look that way and you don't like the way you look, what happened? What did you do to yourself to go from I don't like the way I look, I like the way I look to I don't like the way I look, and how about just reverse the process? But I like this process better. This is how I look now, but how can I look better? How can I feel better? How can I have more energy? How can I get more bone mineral density? How can I get stronger muscles and denser muscles and heavier muscles? How can I be more hydrated? How can I be heavier so that I can stay young and strong for long? And I have control over all of those things. Do I have control over how I feel? So the look thing is pretty simple. Look after your body will look after you. There's an argument to say that if you're healthy, fit and strong, of course you'll have healthy hair, healthy skin, healthy nails, healthy eyes, better teeth, better posture. So you might have to spend much less money on the external things. And unfortunately, there's a bit of a joke about this. What's the point of painting over a rusty car? So yes, you can get liposuction, and yes, you can put makeup on, and yes, you can get a haircut, and yes, you can get pretty nails. But what's the point if the driving force behind those things aren't going to keep them for you? I'll give you another example of that. Plastic surgery is one way that you can definitely change your body. You can get a facelift, you can get liposuction, you can get bigger and smaller boobies, you can get bigger and smaller bum. You can change your body with plastic surgery. But I will share with you very openly, and the plastic surgeons that are in my life, and they're some of the best in the world, they don't want to deal with people that aren't fit and strong. Because if you go in for plastic surgery to have new boobies or a new bum or a tummy tuck or a facelift, and you are not fit and strong, this is their quote, not mine, you'll screw up their work. Because healthy, fit and strong comes from the inside so that your plastic surgery will look good from the outside. If you aren't fit and strong on the inside and you have plastic surgery, it won't be long before that plastic surgery is ruined. Because the driving force for health, the driving force for fit and strong, that all comes from the inside, which then looks good on the outside. So it's possible that you might not have to get that much done to the outside because you've got a fit, strong body. And if you've got beautiful skin because you're healthy and fit, if you've got strong nails because you're healthy and fit, if you've got bright eyes because you're healthy and fit. And I'll rephrase that. When you see people that don't look good, you often say, oh, well, they must be unhealthy or they must be sick because they don't look good. Their eyes aren't bright, their nails aren't strong, their hair isn't shiny, they haven't got good posture. They're all the internal health things that show on the outside. So my very personal question, and it's a choice, of course, but what are you going to do every day to make sure that you look the way you want to look? Not the way the world expects you to look, not what fashion or trends are telling you have to look like. And I've lived in a world now for nearly 60 years where that's changed all the time. Tall's been in fashion and short's been in fashion. And I'm talking about jeans now, tall and short. It's been in fashion to be size 12 to 14. It's been in fashion to be a size 0. There's all sorts of fashions that come in and out of in and out of fashion, but style never goes out of fashion. So how about pick your own style, decide what you want to look like. And I always ask this question, what do you want to look like and feel like for the rest of your life, and stay that way? Why follow the trends? Why follow the fashion? I've obviously picked a hairstyle that I feel I love it. It's easy for me, and it works out for me, and it's easy maintenance. And I've kept that since I was 12, bar the mullet I had when I was in the 80s. I have a clothes style that suits me. I don't care what's in fashion. If it doesn't suit me, I don't wear it. And if it's not in fashion, and there's a really funny story for this. I was in a top-end designer store one day, and a guy said to me, and I was wearing something cool, and he said to me, oh, that's a really beautiful outfit, but it's so last season. And In fact, it wasn't last season, it was about 15 seasons ago. But when you buy good quality clothing and you look after it, you don't have to throw it away. So I just keep everything and I wear what I love to wear. But he thought I was so last season, where really I was so far 15 seasons ago. The reverse of that, I went into the same outfit, same day, different shop. And somebody said to me, wow, that's a beautiful outfit. What a great style you have. I really appreciate your style. I think that's coming in for next season. So I was so last season right now, but the suggestion was that what I was wearing right now would be in season next year. And I don't care. I have picked a style. I've picked an energy level. I've picked a way that I want to look and feel for the rest of my life, and I want to stay that way for the rest of my life. I accept the things that I can't change. I'm never going to be 6 foot tall. I'm size 16 in the upper body and size 10 in the lower body because that's my genetics. I have big shoulders, big boobies, big back, and have thinner hips. That's just how it is. I can't complain about it. That's just what I accept. I change the things that I can, and most importantly, I'm a healthy, fit, strong human being, so I want to stay that way for the rest of my life. How about you? And that's what Romax is all about. How to be fit and strong for the rest of your life. How to have a career or business that you love so that your healthy, fit, strong body can give you the life that you want. It can give you the financial security that you want, because that's the third part of Romax, how to be financially free, and then how to have great relationships. But ultimately, isn't the best relationship the one that you have with yourself? And if you love the way you look and you love the way you feel and you've created your own style and you don't follow the fashion, is it possible that your relationship with yourself will be pretty bloody great? So my name's Rowie. Thank you for coming to Romax, and have a super duper amazing day every single day, because you're living your life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? I hope you are amazing. I'm amazing, look where I am. Woo!